Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial for third floor skip on library. This strat will save around 20 to 25 seconds on average. It really depends on what type of RNG you get with the spawns and the bumps and whatnot. This strat is definitely only IL viable because of how much RNG there is between the reviver, the combat, and the teleport. But I'm going to break it down as best as I can in case anyone is wondering or wants to do this strat and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and jump right into it. So this first part, I'm going to show it off on legendary first, and then I'll show easy what aspects of it are different on easy, but I'm going to be mainly focusing on legendary here. So you're going to start off right here. Normally you would skip this spawn because it just makes the level easier if you weren't doing third floor skip, but you actually need these enemies to spawn here. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump over, not like that, like this. You'll have these enemies spawn right here. What I like to do to start off with is I like to kill these two flood that are on top of this little box thing right here. And I want to be looking over in this direction and seeing if I have how many of these human flood I have, because one of the human flood that spawn over here is what you're going to need to use to get inside the door. So I'll kill these guys off. And because I have two human flood here, I only need one of them. You basically are going to want to get it down to one human flood because trying more than one flood is just going to be suicidal and not really ever work. So you're just going to want to bring this one flood over here, try and kill off everything else so it's not in the way. Get as many of the popcorn dead as you can. And then you would use that flood to bump into the door. So basically, the combat in this is pretty RNG, honestly. You're gonna die a lot of the time. Sometimes you won't be able to get a human flood to even come to the door. That's why this strat is really bad, but this is the best I've been able to come up with for legendary. Basically, just trying to kill everything you can around the human flood, and then try and save one human flood for the door. As such, like this. So now, once you have the human flood, what you're going to want to do is you're going to come over to this door here. The way I line this up is there's this like line that's right here, and this is the door you're going to want to bump into, by the way. You basically want to get in the flood in a position where it's barely just over the line. Like, this is just about perfect. You don't really want it to be behind the line because it really won't ever... It sometimes will work because it is a little bit RNG, but most of the time it won't. You want to get it where its feet are like basically right in front of this line. You're going to want to kill it, stand right on top of it, and then it'll bump you into the door. That was actually probably a little bit too far past the line because I barely was able to bump into the door there. That's about as low as you would want it to get. But now that you're in the door, you have two options. You can either bait the flood to hit you and punch you up to the top, or you can go do a nade jump. On easy, you would have to do the bait strat, so that's what I'm going to show off here. But I'll actually just make a... Well, actually, I have a core save for this. Or no, I'll make a checkpoint here and do it like this and show you both strats. So for the nade strat, basically all you would do is you come over here, not do that. I haven't done the nade strat in a while, so you just nade jump to the top and then you'd get in position for the up warp. I'll break down the position for the up warp in a second, but the other strat that you would have to do on easy is you'd have to get right on the edge of this door to where you're almost inbound, shoot to get the flood to aggro you, and then he'll hit you and you can get up to the top that way. So I'll show what that looks like. This may be kind of hard to get used to doing. It'd be something... My health is pretty low to be doing this, so what you'd have to do is you'd have to do like something like this. Not that. To get rid of these popcorn. Why is he aggroing me through there? Sometimes you will just get unlucky and it won't be possible to do it, but you'd want to get it to where he hits you and you can jump up top like that. And like I said, sometimes it might be hard to do that. On Legendary, you have the option of doing that nade jump, but On easy, if you try to do that nade jump, you won't have enough health to survive this up warp that's about to happen next. So it is important that you are aware of that. So now for the up warp. This up warp is pretty straightforward. There's nothing really too complicated about it. I'll switch to mouse and keyboard so that way the inputs register. Basically, you just want to line up your pistol like at the very bottom of this thing while not aimed in. You want to hold left and then jump. That's all you gotta do. And then you want to crouch right when you hit the door. And I did lose a significant amount of health there. I'm 5 yellow when I started out at full health. That's about the lowest up warp that you can get. So you're basically going to need like 2 or 3 bars of yellow at the very least to be able to do this. That's why you can't do the nade jump on easy, because you need to have at least 2 or 3 yellow bars of health. But once again, one more time, I'll show this off. Aim at the very bottom. You want your reticle to be on like the left side of the wall. It will work if it's on the right side of the wall, but you'll get a higher up warp and lose more health. So you want to just aim right at the left side at the bottom of this wall, not aimed in. And then hold left and jump. And you will land on the door like so. Now, this next part is basically the exact same as first floor skip. I'm not going to go over these jumps in too detail, but basically you just want to do 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump. Oh, and that checkpoint right there, that is a scripted checkpoint from a checkpoint trigger that is right there, so you will always get that checkpoint. I'm not sure if you can I don't think you can delay it all the way to the light, because this flood that's down there will aggro you, and you just will miss the checkpoint altogether. So you just basically want to let it pop right here. And then this last jump is also the exact same as first floor skip. I'm not very good at mouse and keyboard, so it might take me a couple tries to hit this, but basically the geo is the exact same as first floor skip. So if you know how to do first floor skip, it's the same exact jumps. Then you want to get into the light like so, get into the nook, and now you are in position. Now, for the teleport itself, this may not be the best lineup that will be used in the long run. This is the best lineup that I've been able to come up with. Basically what you'll want to do is you want to aim in. There's this little like corner right here on this like trapezoidal shape, or I don't know what shape that is, but basically this shape right here, this bottom right corner, anywhere near this corner will give you a teleport, but you want to be aiming on the left side of this shape, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to set a checkpoint right here. So you want to aim just to the left of this corner when you go for the teleport. It might take me a few tries to hit this because I do not have a core save set up for it to work automatically. This teleport is also completely RNG, by the way, so it will not work every single time. Yeah, so the reason you want to aim to the left side of that shape is because it'll give you a shorter teleport that puts you more in the direction you want to go. If you aim to the right side of the shape, you can spawn in there or over here, which is like just a farther walking distance. So basically just aiming to the left side of this shape will basically give you a better chance at a shorter teleport. That's all it really does. And that's pretty much it for this strat. There is a lot of RNG involved, like for instance surviving the combat in the first place, getting the 40% reviver, and then also getting the RNG to let this teleport work. But at this point in the legendary, as far as the legendary IL goes, we basically need new strats because it is almost completely optimized. Now, if you were going to do this on easy, it would have to be a little bit different. So I will go ahead and show the key differences in easy. So the thing with easy is you're always going to be 1 red naturally at this point, so you'd have to grab a health pack from somewhere else. The place you'd probably want to grab a health pack is right at the start of the 3rd floor. There's 2 flood that can spawn next to a health pack on a ramp. That's probably where you would want to grab the health pack to get back up to full health. And basically what you'd want to do is you want to play through this part of the hallway. instead of going on that right side. You'd want to kill all the flood around just like you would on Legendary. You'd want to save one human flood. I'm just going to hold this guy as a reviver. You'd come line the flood up just the same way. He might be more difficult to work with on easy, but... And in this case, because you cannot do the nade jump, you will have to do this strat where you bait him to hit you, because there's just no other way to get in position for the up warp. So you would come over to like right here, shoot, and try to get him to aggro you. You should be able to do this multiple attempts, so... like that, and then you are in position. I also, I should have mentioned this. To get in position for the up warp, basically, I'll switch to mouse and keyboard to show how this works. No, actually, let me just make a checkpoint here. I really should have did this earlier, but it's okay. So, like, when you're moving left and right, well, I guess you can get in position for it doing that way, but you want it basically where your screen is blue, like this. But if you hold backwards, this is how you get into position for the up warp. When you're aiming this direction, holding backwards, you will get stuck here. If you look too far to the right, you'll start going that way. If you look too far this way, I guess it really doesn't matter. You just get stuck here no matter what. You need to be careful going left and right, though, because if you go too far left like that, you'll fall out of the nook. So if you're going, like, forward, you want to make sure you start holding back at around this corner right here. And that's how you'll get in position for the up warp. At this point, you can hold left, look at the bottom, jump, and boom, crouch, just like that. And then, once again, it would just be the same jumps from first floor skip. So the only difference between easy and legendary is easy you run through the big hallway instead of taking the side, and you can't do the nade jump on easy. Everything else is virtually the same. So this definitely is a very bad and RNG-based strat, but it is the best we have for it right now. I will make updates to this video in the future if anything better is found. But for now, that's basically it. If you guys have any questions or concerns about this strat, you could feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to explain whatever is necessary to the best that I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm starting them out. See you later. Peace.